Okay, so the first thing you see me using here is the Pro Concealer HD Highlight or High Definition Concealer in the color Toffee. That's what I use to shape underneath my eyebrow. And the brush that you see me using is a Morphe brush. It's the E37. So I'm taking that with the LA Girl Pro Concealer HD High Definition Concealer to shape underneath my brow. I actually don't shape on top of my brow because if y'all have seen how girls be walking around looking like they just drawn out their eyebrows, I just don't do the top because I'm like, I don't want to have to blend and make sure I don't look like that, and I don't think it's really needed. So that's just what I'm doing right now. I did my eyebrows off camera, the actual, filling them in. I do use a dark brown pencil, and then I also use a eyebrow like brush. I'm not sure exactly what you call it, but like a spoolie. I use a spoolie to kind of give the gradient effect and make it not so dark. But what you see me doing right here is actually rubbing in and rubbing down, like downward, the concealer. So it's, not just one little line. And it just blends easier with everything else. And I didn't speed this part up just so you guys can see exactly how I'm doing it and just how much blending I'm really doing, because we do not want that to look like just a white line. Like that drawn out look is not what we want. We want that to look very natural. And if need be, to the point where we don't have to put a highlight if we don't want to, because I also do not put a highlight on my brow bone typically. Typically, I just leave the concealer because it's kind of a highlight in itself. Now we're moving on to the other eye, just doing the same exact thing, but you can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit better here. And as this is my first makeup video, please bear with me because I was just doing this as an experiment to see how it came out. And I do feel like it came out good enough to post, but of course it's not going to be like your Desi Perkin or Nicole Guerrero or anything like that. Like it's not going to be anything to their quality because I was just trying to see what would happen, but now I know what's set so we can make it better next time. Okay, so I'm done with the actual lining of the concealer to shape the brow, and I feel like I either got the concealer a little bit on my brow, so that's why I'm taking the dark brown pencil to kind of fix that. And the brows are the longest part for me, and I think that your brows are the most important thing about your makeup, so you really need to take your time and practice and make sure they're on point, because if the eyebrows ain't on point, ain't nothing else on point. It's not even gonna matter. People are just gonna stare at your eyebrows. And once again, blending that concealer so we don't have a streak. And you see what I'm doing right here? I'm actually just taking my finger and pulling up to kind of make sure that my eyebrow is not extending out more than it really needs to. So we also, I don't know about y'all, but we really shouldn't have that look where our eyebrow is extending out so much farther than our natural eyebrow. So that's why I take my finger and kind of just push up to take away that extra eyebrow pencil that I've extended out too much, so it looks more natural. We do not want eyebrows going to our nose, our inner nose. That's not okay. That's not natural. That's not how anybody's eyebrows are. Well, some people's eyebrows are like that, and if your eyebrows like that, then cool, do that. But we want it to go with our natural eyebrow. And now what you see me putting on is the 24-hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer by Smashbox. And you do not need to put a lot of this on at all. I've literally had this for like 3-4 years. My little sister, who's a makeup artist, bought it for me. And of course I don't do my makeup every day, so that's another reason why it's lasted so long. And I'm just blending in that Smashbox 24-hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. And you see me using the Morphe M441 brush. That is a blending brush by Morphe. Once again, that is the M441 Morphe blending brush that I am using. And I am taking that brush and putting it into the Faint, which is from the Naked Urban Decay Basics palette. I just have the little small one. It is the second color from the last color, which the last color is Crave, and then the second to last is Faint. And I'm just using that to blend it into my crease using that M441 Morphe brush. And I'm just going for a natural look, so I'm putting the brown in the crease, and I'm really not going to do much else with the crease, but I am taking the blending brush and just going back and forth using circular motions. So just going back and forth using circular motions, back and forth, doing the same thing until it's blended to my liking. And you just want to make sure you blend that as much as you possibly can. And if any of the color fades away too much, you can just dip the brush back into that faint color or any crease color that you're using to get it to pop a little bit more. Now I am taking the E37 Morphe brush, the same brush I used for my concealer, and using the WOS color from the Naked Urban Decay's basic palette. And the reason why I'm using this brush is because my shader brush is actually dirty. It had a whole bunch of glitter on it, but also we are just wanting to get it in that lower part of the lid and not really much else, so it is easier to use a smaller brush to do that. So I was once again using the Morphe E37 brush, and then we go back in with that M441 brush to kind of blend a little bit more and make sure everything is seamless. And then I am taking the Maybelline New York Line Stiletto Ultimate Precision Liquid Eyeliner for my eyeliner. I have used this for years. There is another one that I like, but I think my little sister stole it. So I am using this one for now until I can buy the other one again. But both of them I love, and this is the original eyeliner that I started using when I started doing my makeup. So once again, that is the Maybelline New York Line Stiletto Ultimate Precision Liquid Eyeliner. And I think the color says Black is Black K200. Now this part is kind of like hard to see, but I kept it in there for you guys. Sorry about the angling. And then I did go in and just put the same dark brown pencil that I was using for my eyebrows on my lower line. And now for mascara. I love mascara, and this is the L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Carbon Black. It does say Carbon Black J800, so that's L'Oreal Paris. Absolutely love this concealer if you're going for something that's more kind of like bold and kind of gives you that kind of clunky look, but not too clunky, you want to go ahead and use this. This is a good one to use. And I had something on me, so I had to get it off. See, I just feel like my lashes look so bomb already. And I am not going to be using lashes with this look. I haven't been using lashes a lot lately, mostly because I do have trichotillomania, but my lashes have grown back and I haven't been plucking them as much, so I don't feel the need to really use lashes that much. And then I am going in finally with my foundation. I am using the MAC Pro Longwear Foundation in the color NC50. And I'm also using a black beauty blender from Sephora. And this is just how I apply my foundation. I just do a couple lines all over the face, and I do put a line like around my eyebrow, around like the curve of my face, because I just don't want it to like look like there isn't anything there. Like I don't want it to be a different color than everything else. And I have not done that in the past and I just didn't like it. I don't know, it was weird to me. So I just do that now. And now I am going ahead and blending in with the beauty blender, and I think I'm actually going to try a different technique the next time I do my makeup. I think I'm going to go ahead and blend it in with a brush and then use the beauty blender to kind of just smooth everything out. But thus far with doing my makeup, and of course in this video, I did just use the beauty blender. And I don't really blend the foundation too much under my eye because we are going to color correct and conceal in a second. So now it's time to color correct. I am using the Pro Concealer LA Girl HD High Definition and that is in the color Orange Corrector. It says GC990. And then I am using a different blender for under my eye. I got that from Ulta. It's just a little small orange one. And on the little package it says Ulta 2 small sponges super blender, pointed and rounded tips for blending tight areas. And the only reason why I'm using a different one instead of using the same beauty blender is because I feel like it's too much like blending of other colors and then it doesn't get it the way I want it to. So yeah, I just use a different one, and you'll see later I'm going to go back in with the black one to blend everything. And now I am taking that same concealer that I used under my eye, the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Toffee, to highlight. And as you can see, for the color correcting and the concealer, I definitely didn't use that much with the color corrector, but I use just a little bit more with the concealer. So you definitely want to do a little at a time, and then of course if you feel like you need more, you can do more. But if you do more first, it could go all bad, all bad. And right now, I just feel like concealing or, you know, highlighting under my eyes is the toughest thing for me right now with doing my makeup. So I'm still trying to perfect that. And I really want to perfect doing natural looks, because I feel like sometimes when I do my makeup, it just comes out extra, even though I'm not trying to have it come out extra. So I'm still in the process of learning all of that. I am by no means perfect makeup artist or professional makeup artist or anything like that. I just do my makeup, have no desire to be like fantabulous. Just want to be good enough to do the looks I want to do, you know? See, like, I feel like I look crazy right here. And as you can see, I did take some of the MAC foundation, and I am using that to help me kind of blend everything in, so it don't look too crazy. And I'm still blending, still blending. But now, as you can see, it does look better. And now to contour. I am using the LA Pro Concealer HD High Definition in the color Dark Cocoa. That number next to it says GC988. That is Dark Cocoa from the Pro Concealer LA Girl HD High Definition. And I am taking the Morphe brush in E46, so that's the Morphe E46 brush. It is an angular brush, and it is quite small, and I think if you have a really small face or you're really skinny, this will be able to do, and I think works well with when you're not using a powder, when you're using something that's liquid to do your contour. And I am pulling that up along the edges of my face, kind of up to the temple, but keep in mind most of that product did go in the actual contour area, the darker parts of the face where you're trying to give more definition. It didn't, only like leftover product went to the outer area of my face and all of that. So it's just leftover product. It's not like I'm putting a whole lot, but it does make a bit of a difference. And now I'm just going on to do the other side, and as you can see for both sides I put very little, and you can see that I still am getting a really great payoff. So definitely you don't want to put a lot. I did, you know, put a lot when I first started using it, and I was just like, oh my god, I look so crazy. And there were at least 2 or 3 times where I had to wipe my makeup off because I put too much. Put a very, very small amount, and if you want more, then put more. Or if you're going to set it with a powder, then I would say go ahead and still just put a little and let that powder be where you bump it up a notch, you know? And then I'm just taking that leftover bit onto my nose. I'm not, I didn't apply, extra product really. I just put whatever was left on that brush into the creases of my nose on both sides and kind of pulled up into the brow area. And then also putting it on the jawline also kind of slims down the jawline a little bit. So now I am taking my blush, which is also by MAC. The blush that I did decide to use is Raisin. It is a matte color by MAC. And I have had this for years, and I love blush. I use blush all the time, so the fact that I still have this is amazing. And to apply that, I did use the Morphe M104 angular blush, or angular brush, and it is clearly bigger than the E46 brush. So once again, for my blush, I use the M104 Morphe brush. And I'm still just blending in or blending out that blush and just making sure it looks the way I want it to look. I was trying not to do it too overpowering, which I do think I did accomplish. So you definitely can see it and see that it made a difference, but it's not too much. And now I'm more so also blending in the blush and the contour. And then I just put the blush a few other places to give the rest of my face some color, like my forehead and nose and all of that. And now I am going in once again with that L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Carbon Black to do my lower lashes. And doing my lower lashes is not something that I have always done, but ever since I started doing it, I do like the way that it looks. So ever since the first time, I have continued to do it and definitely recommend it for all of you guys. Gotta make sure that, it's coming together, that you're looking cute or whatever. Because if it doesn't look right with your hair, then, you gotta do something else. You gotta figure something out. And finally, I am going in with some highlighter. So I am using the Missy Lynn Eyeshadow and Baked Highlighter Palette that she partnered with BH Cosmetics to do. There are 2 highlighters in that palette, and either one is going to be fine to use for the highlight. And I did use the M104 Morphe brush that I used for the blush to also do the highlight because most of the blush was off of the brush. So I went ahead and used the same one with the highlight that I got out of the Missy Lynn Eyeshadow and Baked Highlighter palette. And then, of course, we put the highlight in other areas such as the nose, the chin, the forehead, and the Cupid's bow. Highlight on fleek, highlight on fleek. And now we're moving on to the lips. So I outlined my lips with some lipstick. That is the 918D Cherry Bomb. And I really don't know the brand because everything has been wiped off of the container. But it is a dark red color. And in the center, I put the 950 Untainted Spice by Maybelline in the center. And then I went in with the BLG15 Angel Food Cake by NYX Butter Gloss.